Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and hopefully we got kind of a fun one today. So the other day, I was doing my Ask Me Anything, and somebody in the chat asked me what I thought about the moon landings. And I went off like I usually do about rocket technology and how in 2020 today, rocket technology is extremely unstable. The most powerful rockets were still designed by Wernher von Braun, the ex-Nazi, and Project Paperclip NASA transplant. So, to me, rocket technology has never seemed really feasible to get man to the moon. I'll be honest with you. I am highly suspect of the footage of the Apollo missions, for sure, but I always say this, I think we've probably been to the moon and farther with different propulsion technologies and different energy systems. That's probably the reality. And what we're going to do here is we're going to show you a video, and disclaimer right now, I don't know if it's real. I found this, I think it was marked Cities on the Moon Exposed from NASA footage in 1968. That was it. And it was trying to say what you're seeing behind me on the dark side of the moon are basically lights from cities. I'm not giving you that interpretation. I don't know exactly what this is, but it does seem to be genuine. And before we get into that video, I want to give it a little bit of context, but I also want to remind everybody that we are fully demonetized on this platform. Perhaps what you're about to see is harmful content because it may ask you to, question authoritative sources like NASA and our government. So before we get started on the footage I'm going to show you, I want to remind everybody about a little thing called Apollo 8. We don't talk about Apollo 8 much. But Apollo 8 was apparently, again, a mission using rocket technology where a crew, including Jim Lovell, went to the moon and circled around it 10 times. And on December 24th, 1968, actually showed you footage of the moon, broadcast footage of the moon, and then returned. That on its surface with rocket technology is also very ludicrous. I am highly suspect, but I want to show you some of what was there. This is, I'm gonna play some of the audio actually on this too. Let's make sure that it's not too loud for me. But he's saying a prayer here. Let's do it.
Under the firmament, the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning was the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so.
So let's just stop that there. That's supposedly out of the window of Apollo 8. Okay. And, did you guys lose video? Really? Okay. I'm glad we didn't lose video. That would be ridiculous. Now, when they did this, now, you can watch full documentaries on Apollo 8. This is just like a little clip of supposedly some of the stuff they shot from Apollo 8. And like when it gets cleaned up, I want to show this. I want to take the audio all the way off this. But apparently this is what they shot. This is them going around the moon. Okay. Again, it's very hard for me to buy it. And then this is supposedly, again, a shot of the Earth rising and them on the moon. I will say this, when you listen to it, there's no sounds of rockets or whatever's going on. But this is supposedly Apollo 8 footage. Okay. And here they are returning to Earth. Now, I'm going to try to interrupt this as little as possible. This is the secret footage we've all been waiting for, and it looks pretty credible to me. And I would think that this footage, again, was probably not gotten from rocket ships and that type of propulsion technology. Now, I'm not even sure, and you're going to hear some people talking in the background, who these people are, who they're supposed to be, or whether they're even on this ship physically. You know, because drone technology would probably have been something that was utilized in the 1960s. But let's check it out. Here we go.
It's an event on the moon of which we have relatively little understanding at this time, but the analysis of the data may shed some light on that event. A little bit along the orbital track. I'll be panning the camera more or less westward. Okay, I think you can orient yourself. This view from the moon at an altitude of more than 1,000 miles. No, you won't see Tycho for a little bit.
Obviously, what you just saw was very interesting, at least to me.
That are taking place even at the present time. Understanding that early history of the moon may mean an understanding of the early history of the Earth. And I think we're well on our way to a first-order understanding of that history as a result of the program. 17 Houston, you just passed 2,000 miles. 2,000 miles. Human beings don't very often have a chance to see. A trend's been started in the last few years, and I suspect it will continue. Roger, Jack. Right. There's, I think you can probably see a long chain of craters, which so far are visited by. You're now 1,500 miles above the surface, and your climb rate was just computed at 295,000 feet per minute. We're glad they cleared the traffic out of the way. Good picture. That's in the... move you. The interior of the moon is more than just a possibility.
I want to pause this right here quick. Now, what I really do find interesting, especially on this one, is when you look up here, right, at the lights on the top, you notice over in towards the back, it almost seems like there's another light source that maybe is the curvature of the moon. I don't know.
One since 3 billion years ago, which is one of the reasons it becomes so interesting to man. It's the moon's frozen in a period of history 3 billion years and older, which is a period of history that we cannot recognize very readily on Earth.
And that's pretty much it right there. I'm going to bring it back to just that right there, so you can kind of see what we're talking about. So I don't know what to tell you. It seems, if anybody would like to put into the comments section, maybe even the live chat right now. If you think you know what that is or whether this is fake or hoaxed footage, I'd love to hear it. They talk about 17 Houston, etc. I also, again, this footage is starkly contrasted from what we just saw from Apollo 8. So again, rocket technology, man, I don't know. I do know that we have a black program in space, and that Reagan outwardly with the Star Wars program talked about militarizing it. I do know that we have propulsion systems that are hidden from the public that go far beyond what rockets can do and have done, and that is dated technology. So guys, there it was in a nutshell. You can decide for yourself. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, share. I want to remind everybody once again, fully demonetized on this platform. Need your support. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Big donations. Guys, go check out my videos from this week, especially on Cuomo, especially on Assange, especially on Twitter censoring stories of racial harmony. The big win for people against Monsanto and Bayer, as well as GMO mosquitoes being released by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in Florida. You can't make this stuff up. Remember to check out all my documentary films, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. So important right now. Fabled Enemies, Loose Change, also in there if you want to learn about 9/11, which I think is crucial if you want to understand what's really going on right now. Check me out over at Rockfin and Mines. And let me ask you again, if anybody knows the footage that we just showed, or where you can find it, whether I can verify it as a hoax or verify it as real NASA footage, I'd love to hear about it. These things do interest me, and I am interested in the truth. I don't like to peddle garbage. So if it's garbage, if it's hot, stinky, smelly garbage, let me know. I hope you had fun with this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip.